So tonight's mission is going to be rebuilding my vacuum pump. It's not really rebuilding it, it's more like just changing out the seals. I'm not sure if it was leaking or not, but I've been told that these things are prone to leak engine oil because that's how they're lubricated and cooled. So I'm going to go ahead and I got it out of the engine. I'm just going to go ahead and fix it up. Right now I cleaned it up because it was just a mess. I thought it was leaking. I got it cleaned up. I don't know if it was or not, but I got it cleaned up, and I got the old power steering pump cleaned up as well. So we'll go ahead and start the rebuild on it. The rebuild that I'm going to be using is from Gould Gear and Electric. I got it from Gino's Garage. This is the package that it came in. That's his part number. But it's pretty idiot proof. It comes with a DVD that you can watch, and then all the warning labels are there. With the kit, it comes with a package of assembly grease, the new seal, which is this guy right in there. It comes with the 2 O-rings that we're going to be using, and then it comes with the these 2 pieces of PVC that you use to drive the said black seal out. The kind of neat thing about it is that when you buy the kit, it comes with another set of O-rings and seals labeled spare parts. We're going to go ahead and start tearing this down. I watched this DVD a couple times. I'm feeling pretty confident. Let's get started on it. So it's recommended that you find the surface that's got a hole in it so you can set the pump on nice and flat. I have my crank pulley right here that I have taken off the engine, and it fits in there just perfect. Yeah, this is probably something you're not supposed to do. There's your little smaller O-ring right there. I almost forgot the first step that his video shows. I'm supposed to mark it. Alright. Because I guess this thing can go on either direction. Next up, we have our 3 little bolts right here. They're 10 millimeter. Now he goes on to talk about checking out the vanes of your vacuum pump, but this actually looks pretty good. There's a slight gouge just right there. I guess I'll go ahead and take the vanes out and see if they look okay. So you have a rounded edge on one side and the flat edge on the other. That looks okay. Yep, they all look good. But just remember to keep the rounded ends point away from the center. Just going to wipe off the surface with some brake clean here. This dowel pin is an alignment pin right here, and it makes sure that middle body only goes on one way. So got that pretty idiot proof. I'm gonna take out this O-ring. There's your old one. Alright, nice and clean. We'll take some of this fancy green grease here. This is kind of some weird grease. Here's the O-ring. Now he says it may appear bigger than it needs to, but he says just keep working at it. It definitely appeared like it didn't want to fit in there. I don't have too much of this green grease to go around, so I'm going to have to save some. Next step. I think I'm going to go ahead and clean this guy up real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up now. I'm going to go ahead and smear just a coat of grease around the outside. Check and see where my dowel pin goes. Looks like I go straight on this way. Okay, you have to lift it up a little bit because there's some play with the gear, but now we can go ahead and get started of putting those bolts back on. And he says just snug. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, we'll put our little coupling there on. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this guy up real quick. And then we'll get that O-ring out. Alright, so I got my piece all cleaned up here. I'm going to go ahead and open up that, get that O-ring out of there. Ooh, and it broke on me. I think it was a good call to change it out. Alright, so before we put that O-ring in, we're going to go ahead and drive that seal out. So the seal I'm talking about is this guy right here. There's the back side of it. See how the back, this end right here is facing in? So that's how we got to drive it in. But it's got to come out this way. So, with our fancy PVC piece of pipe, that did not come out how they said it in the show. Yeah, that, this guy doesn't want to come out for anything. Did it move? No, it did not. Alright. Well, let's break out the chisels. I don't think my plastic hammer is going to cut it. There's some movement. That did not go how they had it in the instructional video. And there's still a piece of it hooked there. Hopefully I didn't scar it up too bad. Yeah, there it is. Oh, look, it finally fell out. There's still actually a piece left in there. Oh, there's more than a couple. Alright, let me clean this up real quick and then we'll resume. I got it cleaned up. there is a small nick from whenever I had the chisel. It's right there. It's right there at the bottom there. I cleaned it up as best I could. We'll just see what happens. So next I'm going to go ahead and put my seal in. This guy right here. Make sure it's facing up. This is going down towards the table here. And it pushes in pretty easy. Then they give you this fancy little PVC cap to push down with. This part of the video kind of had me confused a little bit. That's how it goes. Because the packaging says install dry. In his video, he's going and putting a little grease on. So packaging says install dry. That's what I'm going to do. I think that packaging lied. That does not want to slide in there at all. I hope I didn't mess this up already. I wonder if I can tap it back out. Nope, really afraid of doing that too. Alright, well, we're in it. I'll just break out the hammer. How's that guy going? It's going in there. There we are. It looks like it's butted up. Looks like it's installed all the way up. I'll give it one final tap. I'm going to call that good. Let's get onto that O-ring. So like Mr. Gould said, make sure this is in. Put a little coat of grease on there so where it's sticky. Why, I'm not exactly sure again. Find your alignment tabs, which I think I wiped off. So here's another helpful hint. Don't use a marker. Use a punch. Got my O-ring on. It's greased. He recommends setting this off. Set. Pushing it in. And sliding it around and letting it sit for a minute or two. So we'll let that sit. And I'll come back after I see a picture of which way it's supposed to face. I verified which way this guy is supposed to face, so we can pull this guy back up, as recommended by Mr. Gould. Ooh. Something about it getting its memory. I verified which way this guy is supposed to face. I based it off my nipple here for the vacuum, and these lower feet are supposed to face below. So that's how it's supposed to go on. We'll shove this guy back in now. Took a little chunk out of the gasket, out of the O-ring. Well, we'll see what happens. But he was right. It is a tight fit. There we go. I can see why it gives you spare parts in case you screw up. And hopefully these tighten up easier than whenever I had to loosen them. Still probably not supposed to do this, but like I said, nothing too crazy. Let's mate it back up to the power steering and we'll get in the back on the engine. I have my gasket supplied by the rebuild kit. This is another one of those things where he recommended putting grease on it on the video, but then has a sticker saying not to use grease. So I'll just go with that then. Let's see if I can get this in one shot. He also said something about using fishing line, but I'm not exactly sure what he was referring to. Top's in. And cross-threaded. My knife keeps getting better and better all the time. Ah, there we go. Now we'll go ahead and connect our oil line here. So this oil line is a 14 millimeter. We'll try that, see how well it goes. Alright, let's see what else we can put together.